Welcome to yet another episode of the Scribido Talks podcast, where we want to dive into the minds of young children to understand how can we make education a happier and better space for them. What is it that they enjoy? What is it that they don't like, want, or not want? And to take this conversation forward today, we have Avni Thipse here with us. Hi, Avni.
Hi.
Please tell us how old are you and what class are you in?
Hi, my name's Avni Thipse. I'm your Desi Riley from Inside Out. I am 14 years old and I'm from ninth grade.
Desi Riley, how did this come up?
As I compared my story to Inside Out, that's why Desi Riley came into my mind.
Okay, so what was this story?
My story is like a tragic story. It's sad, but I made sure to share it with the audience, with y'all, in a more humorous and fun way. And it compared a lot to Inside Out. Like it was my side of the Inside Out story.
Okay. Do you listen to podcasts, Avni?
Yeah, I do.
What kind of podcasts?
I listen to mostly, it's crazy, but I listen to criminal podcasts. I love mystery.
Criminal podcasts.
Yeah.
Okay, so like stories.
Yeah, stories, Indian criminal podcasts.
Wow, great. And what takes you there? What fascinates you about crime?
It's all about the bloodshed, like how it happened, why it happened. Like that's the questions that come into my mind.
All right. Now coming back to the Desi Riley in your story, which happened to be tragic.
Yeah.
Tell us about this story. What went out there?
Okay, so like a few months ago, I lost my grandfather to pneumonia, and it was pretty hard for me as he was one of the closest people to me. It's like losing a parent for me. And only 2 months later, I lost my mentor, like my teacher for 7 years. She moved. It wasn't as painful as my grandfather, but it was like another load on my back.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's fine.
That is a lot to deal with. Right. And so how did you overcome that and we still see a very happy, smiling Avni here?
Well, it was because of some small things like going on cycling rides with my friends, socializing with people again, and talking to my loved ones about it. I was so caught up in it, I forgot I should talk to my loved ones, which would help me a lot too, and it did.
So this time when you went through this change and these losses, how was going to school for you on a daily basis?
It was pretty painful as my grandfather was already a person who used to tell me to study and stuff. So it was hard for me to learn something when he was my mentor mostly at home. And my friend too, one of my good friends lost her grandfather to pneumonia as well. So at least I connected with her and talked with her about it. She said it takes time. It took her 8 months to get out of that stage. So I had a friend I could talk to about this. So yeah, it was painful at the start, but slowly and surely I got out of it.
Do you think, or rather, were you able to share this with anybody in school?
Yeah, her name's Radha.
Other than your friend, like with when you went to school, were you able to talk to any of your teachers? Did you feel the need to?
I didn't feel the need to talk to my teachers as I never felt comfortable just sharing something directly with them. They're already stressed about teaching, and why give them another load? I did talk with we have a life skill teacher, like a therapist teacher for students. I talked with her about it.
And I find that so amazing that at your age you considered the fact your teachers are already overworked and you were unable to, or rather maybe didn't want to bother them with it. Tell me more about your talk. How did it all shape up, your Scribido Talks, and how did you reach the final outcome of implementing Riley's narrative into your talk?
Well, firstly, I'm already a public speaker. I used to talk in my school in elocutions, but it was new for me, talking on like my story itself. In elocutions, you just give a topic about your personality and you write about it. It's way more easier than talking about yourself. My mother encouraged me to go on a platform where she knew my colors would shine. And I did. With the lovely teaching of my instructors, I felt a little more confident. And as I saw people my age talking about their stories, it was a little more easier for me to talk about it. And slowly and surely, as I wrote my script, I thought that let's find a story that would connect with me. And it was Inside Out. She also went through something different, but it was at the same point sadness and anxiety. So that connected with me, and as I wrote it, that's why my name came as Desi Riley.
Nice. So that's something I feel that's gonna stick with you
Yeah.
for a while now. Desi Riley, great. Um, can you give us a little piece from your talk, because it was so fascinating when I heard you deliver that talk.
Change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck at a place where you don't belong. Hi, my name is Avni Thipse. I'm from 9th grade. Today I'll be talking about what's change. Just like Riley, from inside out, my emotions were all over the place. A new emotion, anxiety, had entered the chat. Sadness had took charge. Everything that I saw in those 2 months of my life was all blue. I had no control over my life, neither did I have any clue. This is like the starting of my talk.
Lovely. You brought so much humor and comfort into such a serious topic, from anxiety, especially using food, vada pav. How do humor and small joys help us survive emotional storms?
Well, emotional storms are something that just trap you inside of it. Doesn't let you go out and doesn't let anyone come in. It's like you're trapped in a small hole and no one's there to save you. So humor is something, it's like your best friend. It'll make sure you're happy all the time. There's never a dull moment with it. And I feel like when talking about such a sad topic, I wanted to make sure that I would add humor, because I'm talking about something so tragic to an audience which is already feels change, right? So why make them more terrified of it? Let's make it a little more peaceful, a little more comedy related. Even if some people don't like comedy, which is outrageous, but still, comedy is something that makes everyone laugh at a point. So it helped me a lot during like my sadness era. So I'm really happy that I added humor, and my friends also said it was a really nice talk, adding humor. Vada pav and pani puri are just comfort foods that people connect to.
Yes.
So that's why I
At
felt
any
that I
time.
need to add it.
Yeah. I think we also have a lot of people who love vada pav. Probably have it for lunch today as well. Great, wonderful. So, it's when you look at yourself now and the ability that you have to deal with pain, because I feel that for children your age, it's not so easy to even recognize these emotions, but you're able to identify them. And you also took a very conscious effort of making that change in your routine, whatever it was, or some small changes, whether it was resorting to your comfort food or comedy. But you made that effort to step out of that grief and sorrow. So, would you say, from your perspective, there is a distinct difference between sadness and depression?
I would. Sadness is like a temporary thing that will make sure, like, you're blue. Like, it's just nothing in the other. Like, the only emotion you feel is sadness. But depression is a very permanent thing. It's temporary, but it's like 4 to 5 months together. And depression is way more stronger than sadness. Like, I'll just say it's like depression is a point and sadness is included in it. There are many other things that come in depression, like anxiety, nervousness, sadness, grief, and everything put together. Sadness is just a component of depression. And sadness is something a little more easier to overcome. Depression is way harder because you're dealing with lots of emotions together. That's
Wow.
why. That's it.
What would your advice be to the slightly older kids than yourself that are called Gen Z? Do you feel that they complain a lot about depression?
I don't feel like they complain a lot, but some people who identify sadness as depression. That's the difference.
And
there.
you are able to recognize
Yeah,
this.
as depression is something people think depression is when people are just sad and stuff. Depression, no one can just easily open up about depression to everyone, right? That's why it's anxiety too mixed in it. Anxiety doesn't let you just share everything.
How do you think you personally would be able to help kids your age cope or deal better with sadness?
Well, first I'll recommend them vada pav. Firstly, and secondly, I would make like I was so stuck in that gloomy, I used to just watch videos, ASMR videos to calm me down, but that never helped. I would just tell them this quote or something that I had. It's, imagine you're reading a book. Personally, I don't like reading books, but still, imagine you're reading a book. It's divided into chapters, chapter 1, 2, 3, and so on. You read chapter 1, you read chapter 2, 3, but in chapter 4, there's a climax or a tragic story. You don't just sit there sulking, right? At least curiosity doesn't let you just sit there. You're so curious about what other chapters have in store for you. You read the whole book and then you understand the whole plot. Now imagine your life as the book. It's also divided into chapters and there's gonna be a tragic story, at least to entertain someone else. But this tragic story is like inevitable. It has to happen now. That's why I feel like people should change a perspective about things now. They always feel like sadness and depression will never be cured and stuff, and that was my perspective at the point. But I slowly changed that, and I also heard a quote that if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. That's
Lovely.
a quote I heard, and that really stuck with me, and it really changed my perspective. I looked at it as just like a stage that just helps my life to go and in the flow.
Are also some of these things that you say trickle down wisdom from your grandfather?
Yeah, they are. My grandfather used to read lots of shlokas and stuff, 108 shlokas every evening, and he used to teach me some of them, and those really stuck with me. I've never forgotten those. And he also taught me about philosophy, life, how to deal with life. So it really helped me.
Lovely. Wonderful. Well, it was great having you here on our podcast. I think that you're Uguay. Uguay from Panda.
Who's Uruguay?
Oh my god, that is so unfair. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. This is our last conversation.
Who's Uruguay?
How can you not know Master Uguay from Kung Fu Panda?
Oh yeah, sorry.
See, everybody loves Panda.
Sorry.
And everybody wants to be Panda. But there are few that are Uguay, and I think you are definitely Uguay.
Thank you. I didn't get you when you just said Uruguay. When you said
Okay, Master Uguay.
now I know.
Yeah, sorry. Great. I think that we would also love to make a animated Desi Riley version of you for
Yeah.
this talk. So it's been great having you here,
Thank
and
you.
we're looking forward to your video going live in June after this podcast. So we'll be seeing you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I'm so grateful you gave me this opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome.